que mi vida tenga más sentido. Hace que quiero estar contigo. Tú eres como el agua clara que llueve del cielo.
Cabrón.
Te quiero porque quiero que me quieras, porque como tú no hay nadie más que me pueda enseñar.
Chinga, qué pedo. Tranquilo, güey. Tranquilo, güey, tranquilo.
Con mis deseos en cuestión de piel.
Tranquilo, güey, tranquilo ya. No te metas.
When you're on a date, who should pay?
I know. I mean, that's what I told them. You know, I'm sorry.
But-
I would say I'm dating. We're dating.
But here's the-
gentleman here.
Here, okay. He's supposed to pay.
Yeah. That's
You're
what I told them.
but you're supposed to have sex with him whenever he says.
No. Whenever Walt.
What's where does this double standard come from? I'm sorry, it's the reality. You guys can moan at it all you want, but the moment you say to a guy, you have to fucking pay for my time, you're saying this relationship isn't equal. This relationship isn't equal. My time is worth more than yours, so you should pay for it. I wonder what paradigm that sets up.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Woman don't owe you shit with your dusty Tim-Tims. Can't pull up to a crib cause you bought a din-din. Hold outside with your dick like let me come in. Not even by the hairs on your chin. Yeah, woman don't owe you. Yeah, woman don't owe you shit. Boy, woman don't owe you.
Hey guys, you hear that? Women don't owe men anything. No matter what you do, they don't owe you anything. So guys, don't take them out on dinner dates. Don't pay their bills. Don't buy them gifts. They don't need us anymore, guys. This song, did you hear the song? They don't need us for nothing. They're free. They can do whatever they want. Bros, just focus on yourself.
Talk about this, because you really can't be a man of value or consequence if you're out here moving sexually irresponsible. We're going to get into it. Jumping in all kind of freaky situations, not understanding the long-term possible ramifications to your brand, dropping babies all over the place, mishandling situations with people you're having consensual sex with, ghosting women after you hook up. Hello?
Yo, what is going on, guys? Your boy Killer Kawabo. Welcome to another episode of Men Operating in Reality. All right, guys. Wanted to give y'all True Crime Tuesday. I saw this true crime video that just came out on YouTube, and I wanted to break that down a little bit. But before we talk about that, I also wanted to talk about this whole Lizzo situation. We got Lizzo being sued over allegations. S.A. Who would have thought? And fat shaming. Who would have thought that would happen? But, hey, it is what it is. I wanted to talk about that a little bit. And then I just want to do some breakdown, a couple videos. I'm trying not to make this a long one, but the true crime one probably going to be the longest one. That original video, shout out to Coffee House Crime. Their original video is like 25 minutes. So, and I don't know how long I'll be talking about these other videos. They're not long videos, but you know how it is sometimes when you see these videos, you're like, man, this is crazy. But before we get started, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know next time I drop, as well as If you want to help grow this page monetarily, you can donate to the Cash App. You can see it down below. Also, we got Twitch. Check me out, twitch.tv/XSUndergroundZ. That's XS Underground Z. You'll be able to find me. I've been playing. I just finished playing. What's it called? Half-Life 2. I didn't finish it, but I'm almost done with it. So you can check me out playing some Half-Life 2 right now. All right, let's get started. So let's talk about this video real quick. I saw this on Twitter. This chick, it's so funny to me how backwards women think nowadays. Let's watch this video and let's just show you how backwards these modern women, especially modern black women, think in today's society.
I like to let the sex come first. Before we think of things to say, before we dive into our most inner thoughts, let's get the fucking out the way. See, for me, bad dick is a deal breaker. No matter if you're smart or you're fine. So before I invest my energy into you, I need to know if it's worth my time.
So here we go with the BS right now. So she's talking about no matter if the man is smart, if the man is rich, bad D is a deal breaker. And that's the problem. That's the problem with these modern women. They base everything solely on relations. They base solely on relations. If you have relations with her, oh, then you got to start buying her stuff. No, you don't. You got to start paying the bills if you smashing. You gotta take her out on dates. If she decides to let you smash, you gotta take her out on dates. If she decides to let you smash, you gotta pay all the bills. But for her to have a connection, for this chick to have a connection, this chick needs good D. It doesn't matter if the dude is a good dude. It doesn't matter if the dude can take care of her. If the D's not good, she's not gonna stay with him. And it's a no wonder why these modern women are single, especially black women. This is how they think.
So we might fuck soon as we meet. Once, twice, maybe 3 in a row. Then if that chemistry is there, we can begin to get to know. Because the pressure of leading up to the physical is something that I can't take. In the past, that I made the mistake of investing in men that can't make me shake. So I need to know.
And that's crazy. And they're probably good men, but now she out here like, oh, I can't. Where's the good men at? But she's using her peace sleeve as an indicator as what a good man is. The women do not realize that a lot of goals for men is to sleep with y'all. Actually, that's most men, even the guys that are good dudes. Most of our goals is to sleep with y'all. The reason why we do a lot of stuff for y'all women is so we can sleep with y'all. But if y'all just give it up, automatically, guess what? We're not gonna go the extra mile. We're not gonna go the extra mile for y'all. We're not gonna. If I'm able to sleep with you on the first night, I don't feel the need to take you on a date. I don't feel the need to pay your bills. I don't feel the need to take care of your child because I already smashed. My main goal is to smash. But since I achieved that goal, I don't feel the need to do that. Matter of fact, going by my own story, I had this one chick before, Lily, she's the reason why I took the red pill. This one chick I was smashing, she kept saying, oh, we got to go out to movies, dinner. We got to get a hotel room so we can spend the day there. And I'm looking like, for what? I already hit. I'm like, for what? I already hit. And unfortunately, modern women don't realize how backwards they're thinking right now. Let's continue.
Know if my body can fuck with you. Before you introduce to my spirit, because if you want to talk after you failed to make me come, I ain't even trying to hear it. See, with most women, they pussy is their only possession. They make men work before they lay, be selective with who they let touch their bodies, but then give their hearts away. My prized possession is my energy too. This vibe is rare to find, so you can penetrate my body before you get into this mind. And the best things about
And I can already tell right now that her vibe is, I don't want to deal with her vibe. I don't deal with her vibe. She looked like she fight dudes. She looked like she start problems. She acting way too masculine. I would hit it and dip. I would not be in a relationship with this chick. I would not marry this chick. And it's funny because women think they're winning when they think like this. You're actually losing. You become more masculine. You become less attractive to the men that could most possibly take care of you. But again, women think backwards. They have children, and then they think they're going to get a husband that's going to take care of them. And they don't realize that men are unattracted to what women are doing today. We have a whole red pill. We have a whole righteous fear. We have MGTOW, men getting their passports and leaving. And then women are still wondering why they're single. And they're making stuff like this.
about me have nothing to do with the things that I can do with the bed. I might let you get into my drawers, but never let you get into this head. Plus, I've seen it too many times, these women that want to make men wait, thinking that playing a good girl role will somehow guarantee their fate. And then once he get what he want, he going like a thief in the night. And your asses be DMing me crying, talking about, Kara, I did everything right.
But most of these women who are 3 or 4s don't have a man. They have children. They have children that they gotta take care of, but they don't have men either. It's the same difference. It's just that they didn't make the man wait months. They let him smash, and the dude was like, "Oh, okay, I think I can smash some more." Like if a dude smashed on the first night and then he decides to stay, wait a minute, listen, and he decides to stay, it's because he knows it's pussy to smash. He's still gonna be talking to other girls. He will still be talking to other girls. But if you just smash it and y'all have not created a monogamous relationship, he'll be talking to other girls, but he'll stick with you because he knows he can smash you anytime. It doesn't matter if y'all fell out. It doesn't matter if y'all fell out like that. If he's able to hit it well and you do whatever he wants, no matter how crappy of a dude he is, he's going to keep coming back to you and smashing. Y'all don't know how much of a detriment that is to y'all women. Y'all think y'all winning because y'all think you can be like men, but it doesn't work like that. And no matter how many times y'all try to say it does, it will never be that way.
As women, we make sex this huge ordeal when that's not always the case. Because sometimes it is about starting the future, but sometimes it's just about riding his face. And if you get sex out the way early on and he doesn't ghost or get distant, that means he wasn't just trying to use you for sex. He might actually be consistent. Because if you fuck him and he changes up, then you know what he was there for. But if he stays around, then it's possible that it could mean something more. But someone told me I have to be very careful with who I let in between my thighs because it's never solely physical when you factor in them soul ties. But here's the thing. Regardless of what you've been led to believe when it comes to men, they don't automatically get access to your soul. You have to invite them in. So I could fuck you till the sun comes up.
When you're, oh my gosh, these modern women don't even realize when you smashing, you are inviting him in your soul. You are creating a soul tie. It's called a child. It's called a child. On top of that, you're collecting the DNA. These modern women don't know. It's so funny to me. These modern women go to school, get PhDs, and yet they divorce themselves from reality. This is why we call a lot of these women delusional. They don't know how it's affecting their biology, their mind state, their attitude, and their ability to pair bond with men. And not even pair bond with men, even with women. They are terrible at relationships. And then they end up dying alone.
And let you into deep in my lady parts, but having access to this pussy don't give you access to this heart. And I'm not trying to minimize the power of that physical connection, but I'm also not about to act like giving him your heart is the same as giving him an erection because it's perception of equating.
It actually is. It actually is. There's a lot of men that will take a woman and be with a woman just because he smashed. a lot of men, especially now, especially in today's age, we have a lot more men who are virgins. If a man's able to smash his first chick, he is definitely trying to be with her. But again, these modern women think they can be like men and sport smash multiple men and get what they want. Then when they hit 30, they hit 40, they're like, why can't I find a good man? What's going on? But again, these modern masculine women, they don't think ahead. They don't think past 5 minutes. So unfortunately, they're just going to be sport smashing different dudes. They're going to get hurt. They're going to get mad. They're going to get more masculine. They're going to be more aggressive. And then when they want to settle down, when they find a good dude that will be able to settle down, that dude is going to run away. Or they're going to destroy the relationship, because there's a lot of women who are 304s that are able to get good men, and they still destroy the relationship. They're the ones who leave. It won't even be the men that leave. It don't even be the men that be like, oh, okay, I'm disgusted. She's a 304, da-da-da. No, they leave. The women leave. Look at what's with Beyonce's mom. Just left a simp. The dude was a simp. And she still left him. So it don't even matter if the man is attractive. It all depends if the woman just wants to leave one day.
In love to sex is a mentality that is dated. Yes, we've tied the two together, but they're not naturally related. See, someone could love you from the best parts of their soul and never want to lay you down. And a man can want to do all kinds of nasty shit to you and not want you to stay around. So this idea that sex has to be something special is a rule that I can't fathom, because sometimes I want the love, but other times I just want an orgasm. And that doesn't make.
And then women forget the consequence of sex. Man, and it's no wonder why they become single mothers. This is the absolute dumbest thing. Let's finish this up.
Make me heartless, nor do I think guys are only good for sex. I just don't put too much pressure on that part. I'm more concerned with what comes next. So here's to the grown-ups doing grown-up things. Everybody can't relate, but if you're single and you're open-minded, I'm down to fuck on the first date.
Oh my God. Oh man. You know what's so terrible? If we're going to have more single mothers, women are going to listen to that. And think nothing's going to happen. Because because of modern medicine, we've made the consequence of sex seem inconsequential. But women still face the consequences by becoming single child by a deadbeat dad. They have to take care of the child. And then sometimes, unfortunately, the child has to face the consequences for the mother's mistake. But because modern times have made things a lot more easier and accessible than it was back in 1990, 1980s, even the 2000s, that these modern women have become more arrogant and think they can do whatever they want, including sleeping around with multiple men. And then this is why the Maury Show was popular. We got paternity frauds. This is a whole crazy thing. And this is sad to see, because more women are falling into the trap. We just had Summer Walker. She broke up. She has 3 children by 2 different men and just broke up with her last boyfriend, which is Lil Meech. Just broke up with him. She said he was cheating, but man, you really are in a polygamous relationship with 2 extra men. What makes you think this guy is going to be loyal to you? You already technically, quote unquote, married to 2 other men. This is crazy. Let's move on to the next video. We got this one video. This chick in New York insulting men in New York. She insulting men in New York, but somebody responded to her and put her in check. Let's play this real quick.
Yo, like, you know, funny shit? These New York niggas is trash. Trash. Don't fuck with these niggas. Horrible. Horrible. Stay the fuck away from us then, Missy Elliott. Yo, like, you know, funny shit?
Oh, man. That's hilarious. So, first of all, I'm not trying to talk about looks, but she is average as hell. Average as hell. I mean, compared to the women that be coming onto social media, she is pretty kind of ugly. Now, obviously, there's gonna be dudes that's gonna date her or dudes that's want to smash, but come on now, this woman is average at best. And this is me being nice. This is me being nice because me personally, I think she's personally ugly. Personally. But she's average looking woman, average built, average looking face. Unfortunately, she has the New York attitude. So a lot of women, and it's so funny because women can get over not being pretty, and women can get over being overweight if they were at least nice. This woman, the only reason why I feel like she looks ugly to me is because of her attitude. Look, she's not even that ugly in the face. However, when she opens her mouth and starts talking and moving, look.
Yo, like, you know, funny shit? These New York niggas is trash. Trash. Don't fuck with these niggas.
She acting masculine. She sounds masculine, and that brings her down a scale for me. Like, it makes her look really ugly when she starts moving around and acting masculine. Because she could be pretty in some other type of ways, and we can't see her whole body. She has some, she got a huge chest. She's gonna attract some man. But when she opens her mouth and talks, man, that is unattractive. Let's go back over that again.
You know, funny shit? These New York niggas is trash. Trash. Don't fuck with these niggas. Horrible. Horrible.
And it's so crazy that these modern women will go on my pages, Mr. Goodbread, OKL. They will go on our pages. They will go on our pages and say, we hate women. And literally go on TikTok. They will go on TikTok and say, oh, these men are trash. They will go on Twitter and literally say they hate men. But then when you say modern women are overweight, modern women are way too promiscuous, we don't want to date single mothers, oh, you're a misogynist, oh, you hate men. When you call out women, it's integrated misogyny. But they don't even know, they never even heard of misandry. Modern women do that all the time. Modern women continually do misandry every day. Misandry every day. They literally tell us they hate us. They literally try to shame us. They say that we're good for nothing. They say that we're feminine, all this stuff. But then when we literally tell them the truth of why men are not marrying these modern women, oh, you're misogynist, oh, you hate women, your mama, all the projection tactics, all the shaming, the sign language, all those projection tactics, they using all that. But look at her face when the energy is done back to her, when karma is getting back to her. Look at her energy.
Stay the fuck away from us then, Missy Elliott.
Look at her face. She acting surprised that someone is retaliating against her. A man is retaliating against her. You're going around a man and you're saying that New York dudes are horrible. Well, first of all, with no context. She didn't even let us know she went on a date. She got stood up. She didn't even let us know what happened, the reason why she even told us this. At least when we had that dude, about on the guy that got stood up on a date, and he was talking about he was all depressed or whatever. At least we had context. Let him know he was stood up on a date. So even if you would have came pissed off, we had context and we said, okay, we see why he's pissed off. But this chick, no context, out of nowhere, she talking about, oh, New York dudes are trash. This dude not even talking to her. I don't even know. Maybe he tried to talk to her. Maybe he tried to holler at her. Maybe he tried to do something to her. I don't know. She didn't give no context. He minded, from what we can see, he's minding his business. But she out here insulting men, and then he just we're supposed to take it.
Yo, like, no funny shit. These New York niggas is trash. Trash. Don't fuck with these niggas. Horrible. Horrible. Stay the fuck away from us then, Missy Elliott.
And it's so funny to me that women act surprised when the energy is reciprocated. And I don't advertise, I do not advocate for men putting their hands on women, but women act surprised when they attack a man and then the man retaliates in kind. They act surprised and be like, you're not supposed to do that. Man, there's a lot of things that y'all women are not supposed to do, but y'all still do it, first of all, and act like nothing is supposed to happen to y'all. You're not supposed to face consequences for your actions. They want to break gender roles when it comes to women, but when it comes to men, they want to keep the same gender roles. It's so weird to me. They hate gender roles when it comes to women, but they use the gender roles when it comes to men. Women are not supposed to be submissive, but men are supposed to pay all the bills. Funny stuff. And then she was
like,
surprised.
No funny shit. These New York niggas is trash. Trash. Don't fuck with these niggas. Horrible. Horrible. Stay the fuck away from us then, Missy Elliott.
And I seen women I saw women on the chat try to defend this and be like, he's proven her point. And I'm like, you do realize he was, first of all, minding his own business. She went on the phone. She's literally going to thousands of men and insulting them. Thousands of men. Talking about a group of men. He's talking about her, but she's talking about a group of men. And he even was talking about, then leave us alone then. If you don't want to mess with us like that, leave us alone. But women are modern women, the sisterhood. They want to defend each other on some BS, and then they expect men to clean up the mess. When they destroy stuff, they expect men to clean up the mess. All right. I'm actually waiting for us to be blamed for this article coming up. I'm actually waiting for us to be blamed for this. So, this has just happened recently, and please hit that like button. I much appreciate that. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. This story just came out today, and I wanted to talk about this because I think it's so funny to me. That people that virtual signal the most, the people that virtual signal the most are usually the ones that be doing the most dirt. So this is a big story right now. This is a huge story right now. And also they got a video for this. And we're going to play the video. But you can see, we'll read the article as well. But you can see by the title, it says, former Lizzo dancers were weight shamed and pressured while at strip club, lawsuit says. 3 former dancers have filed a suit against Lizzo, accusing the singer of SH and creating a hostile work environment. All right, so we're gonna play this video. It's like a pretty long 2-minute video.
Shocking stuff here. Some wide-ranging accusations in this.
We have NBC News exclusive. 3 former dancers for pop star Lizzo are accusing the singer of sexual harassment and creating a hostile work environment.
That's according to a lawsuit filed Tuesday, in Los Angeles. Wait, today is Tuesday, isn't it?
Today is Tuesday, so that would be today.
Today in
1st.
Los Angeles. It's funny that I have to ask what day it is. The dancers who accuse Lizzo, who's known for embracing body positivity, of weight shaming and pressuring them to touch a nude performer at an overseas strip club. NBC News correspondent Stephen Romo is following the story for us. Stephen, tell us more about this lawsuit.
Oops, sorry about that. So it can have been a male performer. It might have been a male performer They didn't specify the gender or sex or however you want to put it. But it's crazy to me that, and you know what? And you know it's so funny. It's so funny. The whole body positivity thing that Lizzo would do, personally to me, used to feel like it was her just being mad that people were just making fun of her. But she would do weird stuff. She was a weirdo. She would do weird stuff like eating Oreos with mustard or whatever. But it's so crazy to me that she was waist shaming her dancers and doing stuff that quote unquote men would do.
Lawsuit, what these former dancers are alleging?
Yeah, a lot of shocking stuff here, some wide-ranging accusations in this lawsuit. This was brought by those 3 former dancers. They're alleging sexual harassment and creation of a hostile workplace. All of it is shocking to read, but there are also those claims that Lizzo body shamed one of the dancers for weight gain. That's shocking, of course, because Lizzo has been such a beacon of body positivity. Those sexual harassment claims allegedly come from an after party in Amsterdam that Lizzo allegedly hosted after a concert. Now,
it also proves the point that the people that insult women the most are other women. Look, men will come crack, make our crack jokes or whatever, our jokes or whatnot. But women are the main ones that are most judgmental of women. They're the main ones that are most judgmental of women.
The plaintiffs claim she forced one of those dancers to touch a nude performer. There are also allegations that a dance captain, Charlene Quigley, harassed people with religious discussions, accused of trying to convert them to her Christian beliefs after they said they were not interested. There are also some descriptions of an alleged 12-hour rehearsal described as excruciating. It came after Lizzo allegedly accused some of the dancers of drinking before performances. Now, the dancers are all former employees now. 2 were let go. 1 resigned. The suit names Lizzo, her production company, and Quigley, and not all of them are accused of doing all of these various things. For example, there are also racial harassment allegations that appear to be focused only on that production company. Those body shaming allegations, though, are the ones that are getting the most headlines, of course, because Lizzo is just known for being such a beacon for so many people.
Well, I was going to say this is particularly striking because her brand is so centered around body positivity. Have we heard from Lizzo or her team?
Yeah, I've continued to check. They have not responded to NBC News requests for comments, but I've just checked social media. Lizzo has posted 3 times on Instagram today. Nothing about this. Of course, this was just filed today, so we do expect to take some time to actually hear back.
So my question is, where is all the Believe people? Where are all the Believe women crowd at? Where y'all at? Because y'all mad vocal when it's a man accused of this. Y'all mad vocal. We have we get YK Osiris getting threatened. We get threatened because he tried to kiss what's her name? Sukihana. But Lizzo, she is making dancers touch nude performers and giving them bad work environments, body shaming them. And nobody is like, nobody is the Believe all women crowd. I honestly don't care, to be honest with you. I actually believe, I don't believe these women, not to say I don't believe these women, but I think it's funny that a woman who is all virtuous and try to be like, body shaming, you're wrong, it's all the men's fault, they're the bigots, they're the ones to do this, they're the ones to do that, is the one that's doing the stuff. Is the one that's doing what they're trying to accuse men of doing. And when we tell men, and I don't know, maybe it's our instincts, but men can tell when somebody is virtue signaling and doing BS, and when we call them out, men know when they're faking it. When something's up. We said the same thing about what's his name, Derek Jackson. We said the same thing about Derek Jackson. This dude pandering to women. He pandering to women, giving all the videos, everything they want to hear. And we was like, yo, we trying to get this dude off of the internet, petition on this dude. Turns out we were right. He was a scumbag. But all the while, Kevin Samuels, he's telling the truth to these modern women. They're trying to accuse him of being homosexual. They're trying to accuse him of all these other things. They're trying to accuse him of all other things. And they can't even find now one person that can make any of these claims substantial.
Back from them, but we are definitely waiting to see what she and the other parties involved have to say.
Yeah, you'll keep following it. Stephen Romo, thank you.
All right.
The armorer in the Rust movie set shooting will face a judge. Hannah Gutierrez-Reed is facing 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter.
That sounds like a good story, but we'll check that out later. We're not going to really read the article since the video pretty much broke it down. It seems like the video broke down everything that they wanted. I just thought it was an interesting story to really point out and put out there and see how that develops, because I wonder what's going to happen to Lizzo now that she's been accused of this. As you can see, Jonathan Majors, he lost most of his acting gigs. I think the same thing happened to the guy who played what's his name? Namor. I think he's out of here now because some accusations. When men get these accusations, he loses his life. Is something gonna happen to her? I doubt it, but you know how they treat these modern women. They let these go. They treat them like toddlers. And they let them do whatever they want. All right. Now we're gonna go to our last video. Shout out to Coffee House Crime for setting this up. I wanted to talk about this. Now, this is the chat room killer, internet's first murder. So they're gonna break it down who this person is and how she's the internet's first murder. So let's go.
Occur with the influence of the internet. But is Cherie Miller the first woman to kill with the help of the World Wide Web? Recently wed to a successful businessman named Bruce, she had grown bored with his long and busy work schedule. So when he bought her a shiny new thing known as a personal computer, he had hoped it would help keep her happy. However, unknown to him, Cherie had learned of the new social messaging program AOL. And as she learned how to speak to strangers over the internet, her intentions moved from friendship to lust. She began to see men's affection towards her as a mere game, and in her own words, saw them as video game levels. But one particular man's love was not enough. She wanted to see how far he would go for her, with her final demand coming at the cost of not one, but multiple lives.
And that's the crazy part, because this is what we say in the red pill manosphere, righteous sphere, space, or whatever. When the internet came out, that's when relationships changed. Social media changed relationships, because at first the woman could really be around men that was in her area. If she was in the bigger city, she was around more men. If she was in a smaller city, she was around less men. But the internet opened up a worldwide reach for women to deal with men anywhere. The internet changed everything. Now, obviously, social media made it even worse. But it started out with the internet and chat rooms.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, folks. My name is Adrian, and welcome back to Coffee House Crime. Today we're looking at the manipulative case of Cherie Miller. Now, the early days of the internet can universally be considered as terrifying. All you have to do is look at the likes of Facebook, Bebo, MySpace, and even early YouTube to see that. However, would you ever think that in its true infancy, the internet would play host to an entirely greed-driven murder? Before we sink our teeth into this one, and just to let you know that I post true crime and strange cases here weekly, so if that does sound like your kind of thing, please consider subscribing to the channel. And now, with that said, please grab yourself a coffee, pull up a seat, and get ready for the deep dive. This is the case of Cherie Miller. Welcome to the Wolverine State, folks. Or, for all of you international viewers, welcome to Michigan. Today, we're near the Motor City, also known as Detroit. It is put on the map for a variety of reasons, including being the home of Eminem and the Red Hot Chili Peppers frontman Anthony Kiedis. With the Detroit Pistons on the basketball court and the Red Wings on the ice, there is no shortage of interest to be found for those who are interested in sports. The more historically minded might be more curious to see the Henry Ford Museum of Innovation, or Soo Locks, where more than 10,000 ships pass through every single year. Focusing on our case today, we're honing into the city of Flint, located in Genesee County. It is found 66 miles southwest of Detroit, and the name may very well sound familiar. In the year of 2014, Flint saw a public health crisis, when high levels of lead contaminated the population's water supply, of course, thus triggering a local emergency. And although contaminated waters may have been a good excuse for the perpetrator's actions in today's case, it actually happened several years prior. But first, we must wind the clocks back to the 50s to meet our main man, Bruce. Bruce Miller was born in Flint on July 26, 1951. In his young adult years, he used to work at General Motors as a mechanic, before finally quitting to run his own scrapyard full-time. His business, which was named B&D Auto Parts, was located around 7 miles from his home. Working with cars, it is no surprise that, outside of work, he was interested in motorsports such as NASCAR and racing, and it seemed like every element of his life revolved around vehicles in some way or another. Despite the nature of his job leading him to carrying large amounts of cash and dealing with people from all walks of life, Bruce was considered to be a well-liked man and was very generous. Saying that, there were some ongoing investigations with the police after Bruce was caught tampering with some vehicle VIN numbers. But otherwise, he had never been in police. Bruce was quite the romantic too, and found himself dating several women throughout his adult years. And although he would marry, this would lead to divorce twice.
Already messing up. He was stuck. Look how his life was before he mentioned dating and after. Before he mentioned dating, he was a well-liked dude. He may have had some problems, but no problems with the police. He was focused on his hobbies. He had money. Then dating, he got married and divorced twice. And then when they say third time's a charm, oh yeah, it was a charm, all right. Oh man, that's crazy. Let's continue.
Now, unfortunately, we don't know too much about his previous partners. However, he would eventually meet a very important person to our case today, and her name was Cherie Kidley. Also born in Flint, Michigan, Cherie was born on October 13th, 1971, and by her account had a pretty tough upbringing. Her mother went through men quite quickly, and would regularly have them passing through her trailer park home where they lived. Sadly,
hell of a mother. Unfortunately, she was a hell of a mother. Shout out to Mr. Goodbread. And as I like to say, hell of a mother is a generational curse. The mom was a 304, had men coming out in and out through the trailers, and unfortunately it affected the child because she did the same thing in a whole different way. And unfortunately, it was a lot worse than what the mother did, because at least the mother was a 304. It may have affected the child's psyche, but you know what I'm saying? It ain't taking nobody's life away. But this woman went the extra mile.
sadly, it is alleged that some of these men would also assault Cherie, starting from the very tender age of just 3 years old.
I know I'm stopping a lot, but that's an important part as well. That's also another problem why it's a problem for it's bad for these single mothers to be dating around, because a lot of these guys be predators. A lot of these guys would be predators. Now I don't know her story per se, but a lot of there's even a video out there where it's a guy who's a well-known predator breaks down how they would date a single mother to get near the child. So these women are having children out of wedlock, or they're divorcing their husband, which is leaving the child unprotected. This is a whole crazy thing. And now we're starting to now that first little part is starting to see where her mindset was at. And I'm not saying she deserves to be, taken advantage of as a child. She shouldn't. And it's not because of her mom's actions. But that is a reality that can happen. We have to prevent these measures. It's a reality. And it's something we got to point out.
Cherie's first marriage, which was at the age of 17, understandably failed. She would then marry again shortly afterwards, but this too fell apart. And needless to say, her life seemed to be relentlessly turbulent. Strange side note for a second, but Cherie liked to go by several names at the time. This includes Cherie Duval, Cherie Tribby, Cherie Paulette Duval, Cherie Paulette Kidley, and Cherie Paulette Tribby. At the young age of 26, Cherie was 20 years Bruce's junior, close to double her age in fact. And after meeting at a local event, she started working for him at his scrapyard, helping him with the general admin tasks required to run his business. Now, when she started working for Bruce, Cherie was already a single mother with 3 children, and
Bruce. This is why you don't date a single mom. She was already married twice, and now she has 3 children. At the age of 26, 3 children, single mom. Bruce, that's where you messed up, bro. Bruce had a business. Apparently, out of his two divorces, he was still doing good. Bruce had a business, and he dealt with a single mother of 3. Oh man, what was he thinking?
And in her spare time, she would sell cosmetics for Mary Kay as a side business. And although she began her time with him by doing his bookkeeping, that wouldn't be the only thing of his that she would get to know more intimately. At first, their work relationship remained strictly professional, but as the time passed by, Bruce and Cherie found themselves slowly falling for each other. This eventually resulting in the two getting married in Vegas in April 1999. As expected, and due to running his own scrapyard business, Bruce was often away from the family home. Cherie always helped out in the yard and looked after the kids while he was away. But as expected, this sometimes left her feeling both bored and alone.
And this is the problem with men that are trying to look for love or whatnot. This is the problem with men looking for love. You don't see past the red flags. Single mother, 2 failed marriages. This man already had 2 failed marriages. So he should have been done with marriage, period. He should have been over it. This chick already had 2 failed marriages. And she's a single mother of 3. Had to take care of 3 children. But these modern women, when they deal with multiple men, they will never be satisfied. They will always feel bored because marriage is boring. When you get older, you're not going to have fun like that. You're not going to go out on dates like that. You're going to be sitting around watching TV, talking about how dinner was, talking about how work was, how the kids, what the kids need. It's not going to be fun like that, like it used to be. But these modern women, and it's mostly the women, because the men, we usually be like, okay, we get content. We get comfortable, and that's kind of the problem with modern men now. We're getting too comfortable, but we get comfortable. Women can't get comfortable when they deal with multiple men. They can't get comfortable, and we're going to see later on how true that is.
In an effort to combat her loneliness, Bruce decided to buy her a computer and then hook the family house up to this new strange system called the internet. Back in the day, it was still a relatively new system. The World Wide Web really was in its infancy, and platforms like AOL were only just getting started. And so, after being hooked up, Cherie found herself joining AOL chat rooms to keep herself entertained while Bruce was busy in the yard. Cherie admitted that she would barely get away from the computer. She spent absolutely hours on these chat rooms, speaking to total strangers online. and eventually these conversations became more saucy. For Bruce, he seemed to enjoy the stability of his marriage. I don't think it's something he ever got before this. To add to that, he was probably quite flattered to get the attention of someone much younger than him. To be honest, it is probably why he put up with so many terrible habits and behaviors.
Exactly. He hit the nail on the head. He felt good because he had a younger woman being attracted to him. He was an older man looking for love. Looking for love. Oh, I don't want to die alone. I just want somebody to love me for me. One of those type of guys. And he did not see the red flags in this chick. This chick has been living with nothing but trauma. Oh, man. And unfortunately, he pays the price for it.
According to acquaintances, Cherie often flirted and acted single online, and the sources available are rather split on if Bruce knew about this or even how much he cared. Now, it was in his interest not to rock the boat too much. He loved his wife and the stable marriage she maintained, and was working towards adopting her 3 children. Now, this was in Cherie's interest too. I mean, she clearly loved his money and the lifestyle it could provide for her.
Exactly. See, he didn't want to rock the boat. He married this chick. He didn't want to go. He already been through 2 divorces. Men know how bad divorce is. So it doesn't matter if we get married to this chick. We want to make it work. Even if we cheat, we're not going to leave our wife because we know how bad divorce is. We don't want to destroy our home like that. However, he let too much stuff slide. And unfortunately, she did not love him for him. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Men are in love. Women are in business. She saw him as a come up. All she had to do is cook and clean and take care of the children while she was on the internet flirting with other men. Low-key cheating. That's low-key cheating. Again, at the internet, when the internet first came out, I grew up when the internet first came out. When the internet first came out, it was chat rooms before social media dropped. It was chat rooms, AOL chat rooms and stuff like that. You would just talk with random people in chat rooms, and people would actually be meeting up and dealing with each other. It was actually kind of a problem after a while.
I do say this because not long after they tied the knot, she maxed out several of his credit cards. And even if it did bother him, he didn't complain or even let it show. To put things short, their relationship was wild. They would be business owners in the daytime, managing both the scrapyard and cosmetic side business. And after sunset, they would, quote, do it naughty at night. It was against this background of relative marital bliss that Cherie's online world began to form. And as her confidence on AOL grew, so did her spiciness. Most of her conversations were with men, and most of them turned highly suggestive. To be honest, it is no surprise why. Her various usernames included Horny7421, Love Me Slowly, and I Want to Be Laid. Through her online escapades, she remained totally disloyal to her various connections. She constantly latched on to new men when she got bored, beginning the flirtatious cycle over and over again.
She seems like this is the precursor to modern women now. This is literally the precursor to modern women now. Modern women use the internet, using social media, taking pictures of themselves and suggestive poses towards men, talking to multiple men, latching on. This is the precursor to how social media affected relationships in today's society. This is crazy.
Again. And in her own words, she described her action as just messing around online just to figure out something new to do. Perhaps a slightly more
coming out with these excuses.
But she also described her online actions in the following way. It was like a video game, and each man in each relationship was another level to me, and each level was harder. It was seeing how much I could get away with.
Oh my God. This is literally how modern women think. When they deal with multiple men, they don't look. They feel like dealing with multiple men is like playing video games. They literally play around with us, and they think they want to know, what can I get away with? Can I do this? Can I do that? When you're dealing with a 3 or 4, a woman that has a promiscuous past, this is the type of woman you will have. She will deal with multiple men and see, okay, what can I get away with? She'll be with you and then figure out, okay, how can I talk to another dude and get away with that? How can I smash another dude and get away with that? This is exactly the behavior. And it's crazy that it's kind of started with the internet. This is interesting to see that it kind of started in the 2000s when the internet first came out. And now with social media, it made it even more easier for people to interact than face to face. Because before, you had to go face to face and talk to a woman. Or vice versa. If a woman want to talk to a man, she had to go face to face. But the internet came out, chat rooms, but it was still kind of like, okay, it was chat rooms, but you don't know who that person is. When social media came out, that's when the game changed. But she is the precursor to how relationships will be with social media and modern women.
How much I could make somebody believe. And this cold-hearted way of thinking would send Cherie on a very dark path. It was during one of her marathon internet sessions that Cherie met a new user who went by the name of Reno Nudes. This was the screen name of Jerry Cassidy, a former police officer living in Reno, Nevada. Within a very short amount of time, Cherie and Jerry had fallen for each other. It seemed like Jerry was very special too, because not long after flirting began, they changed their names to match one another, Cherie naming herself as Jerry's Fool, and Jerry as Cherie's Fool. Their online conversations included the full spectrum of content, from flirting, nudes, and sexually charged emails, all the way to videos of Cherie performing explicit actions on herself.
That's crazy.
And remember, all of this happened in 1999, so the process she had to go through to do this was pretty cumbersome.
Yes. So if you are very young, I don't know who's watching this stream right now, but if you did not grow up in the 90s, before the internet really became popular, it was so tough to do stuff like this. You could not do stuff like this. You really had to work. You really had to work in order. You really had to work in order for you to post online, to do videos. So for her to be able to send videos and pictures and stuff, yeah, she had to really put time into this.
Born on October 6, 1960, Jerry was raised in Kansas City, Missouri. From a very young age, he was an avid hunter. He also had ambitions to join the FBI, a dream that he worked towards by joining the police force in Montana. Jerry worked for 9 years as a homicide detective, rising through the ranks to lieutenant. However, towards the end of his career, it all seemed to go wrong. While working on one of the cases, Jerry discovered some falsified documents in the department. Clearly, this was an inside job where someone had tampered with the information. And so, Jerry did what every good cop should do. He reported it to his boss. But sadly, everyone in the department found out, and he became known as a whistleblower. And just like that, his career was put up in flames. Colleagues made it clear that he was no longer wanted there. And after being demoted, he then decided to leave his job in 1994. Unfortunately, this led Jerry down a very dark path. He began to abuse alcohol and drugs and found himself battling depression. And not long after this, his wife divorced him, which also led to him losing visitation rights to their son. Eventually, Jerry got his life back together, starting work as a security officer at Harrah's North Kansas City Casino and Hotel. By the year 1990...
It just proves the fact that women are never there for you. Never think a woman's going to be there for you when you're depressed, when you're sad. You always have to be the strong, masculine. This is what they mean when they say masculine frame. You can't be crying in front of your woman. The only time you cry in front of your woman is when your parents die. Somebody in your family dies. That's it. I'm 34 years old now. I've only seen my dad cry once. And that is when his best friend died. I don't even remember seeing my dad cry when his dad died. When my grandpa died. But when men end up depressed and all that type of and sad or whatever, women are become unattracted to that. And when she's married to you, her faith in you becomes wavered. She don't have no faith in you. And they will run, because women, when they have no faith in you, they will run away from you, no matter what.
1999, he had moved to Reno and began to work at another one of their casinos. It was during this time that Jerry found Cherie online. How do you do quickly became what are you wearing? And soon after, they moved their relationship from the internet into the real world. Using her cosmetic side hustle as an excuse, Cherie often flew out to Reno to see him, with her first trip happening only 3 months after marrying Bruce. And rather than treat this as a passion, his effect on Jerry became very obvious to those who knew him. People described Jerry as almost bipolar during this time, very ecstatic when she was in town, and morbidly depressed when she was away. It didn't take long for the evil manipulation to begin either. By pregnant at all.
And that's the problem. Hold on, we'll let this.
At all. But just as fast as she claimed pregnancy, she also claimed to have had a miscarriage. And the reason for this? Apparently, Bruce had beaten her up. In reality, none of this had happened. Bruce was a hard-working family man, not the dangerous psychopath that Cherie had made him out to be. But Jerry didn't know that, and he was absolutely furious. To him, the loss of his unborn child and his love being in an abusive marriage was all too much to bear. But it wasn't all that easy.
And again, this is the problem when we deal with these modern women that are very promiscuous. They will have no problem lying on their spouse. Look how easy she lied. First of all, look how easy she manipulated Jerry, because he was a simp. Let's put it all out there. This dude was a simp, in every definition of the word. He's the worst kind of simp. He believed everything she said. She said, "Oh, I'm pregnant, and then I lost the baby because I got beat up by my husband." But hold up, Jerry, you realize you're sleeping with a married woman. She is lying to her husband about being with you. You're not going to think twice about what she said, bro? He was a simp.
It's easy, according to Cherie. She told him that Bruce had very powerful connections in the mafia, and he had too much money and influence to ever let them walk away. Just 1 month later, she was supposedly pregnant again. However, this time it was with twins, and she had scans to prove it. Just a side note, but in 1995, Cherie had tubal ligation, meaning she could no longer have kids. Of course, though, she didn't tell Jerry this.
Damn!
But disaster was about to allegedly strike again, because on November the 5th, 1999, Jerry found a chilling email in his inbox. And this email was apparently from Bruce. The email read, "Cherie is growing fat with 2 bastards in her. She has decided she doesn't like the excess weight and is going to get an abortion." In a panic, Jerry tried his hardest to get in touch with Cherie. Filled with worry, he received an email from her later that day saying that she was going away for a few days and would speak with him shortly. The very next day, another email from Bruce landed in his inbox. This one said, "Well, Jerry, she told me to let you know that she would be home soon. I think the abortion went fine. She sounded like she felt better knowing she wasn't having any more kids. Thank you for making my relationship with my wife better." After receiving staged photos of Cherie covered in bruises, Jerry slipped into an uncontrollable rage. This was the last straw for him, and so he began to formulate a plan. After re-establishing contact with Cherie on the next day, November the 8th, the two spoke about what they believed was the only solution to their problem. And although any normal or more rational couple would consider taking this case to the police, as you can likely guess, these two didn't. And the answer to their problem? Well, murder. When planning how to confront Bruce, they strategized direction.
Exactly. They should. If Bruce was really doing this, they should have took it to the police. They talking about she got pictures and all that type of stuff. She's sharing emails. None of them said that Jerry didn't even think about unless you take it to the police. Because she was lying. Man, this is what you have to learn. This is why I like watching these true crime stories. These modern women that have these promiscuous past that deal with multiple men, they are the biggest liars. The biggest liars. And they lie so much that it might end up ending your life.
Parking locations, and even the best place and time to enter the scrapyard. And in a growing surge of rage, Jerry then made the long drive from his home to Michigan. It was later that evening, as Bruce was preparing to close up the yard, that he received a phone call from Cherie. As part of her plan with Jerry, she called him to ask if he could grab a pizza before he came home. And after a few minutes of talking to him, that is when the line suddenly went dead. Jerry had pulled up outside of the scrapyard office, entered through the back door, raised his 20-gauge shotgun to Bruce before finally pulling the trigger. He then made his way back home. Cherie waited a while until she started the next part of the plan. She called Bruce's brother, Chuck, to ask him if he had seen him. Bruce hadn't returned home yet, and she was getting quite worried. Chuck and his wife then traveled to the scrapyard, which, of course, is when they horrifyingly found Bruce's body. The couple then dialed 911 immediately.
County 911. Yeah, I need please an ambulance at B&B auto salvage. My brother-in-law owns it, and he's laying on the floor, and there's blood. Okay, is he breathing? I don't think so. Where is he bleeding from? It looks like from the head, and he's cold. He's cold? He's stiff, yeah. He said there's no pulse, no nothing.
Chuck and his wife were distraught,
Damn, that's
and
sad.
apparently Cherie was too. However, despite the quick discovery of the crime scene, no signs or evidence of the suspect was left behind. The killing went unsolved in the immediate aftermath, and at the time, there were no signs that Cherie had anything to do with her husband's murder. No forensic evidence was left at the scene, and it is quite likely that the reason for this is because of Jerry's intimate knowledge of homicide investigations. It was noticed that Bruce's wallet was missing, and this was likely taken by Jerry in an effort to dupe police that this was a robbery. And get this, but officers even suspected the wrong person, an old friend of Bruce's named John Hutchinson, and he found himself directly under the spotlight. Not only was John a former employee who owed his boss more than $5,000, but he was also Cherie's ex-partner. To add to this,
wow! So she was already smashing another dude. Again, more evidence as to why you got to stop dealing with these 304s, man. You cannot marry a 304. This is why men ignore and dismiss these 304s. This chick literally had an ex-boyfriend under her husband, working with her husband. And on top of that, he could have been he was a big suspect, even though he didn't do it. And unfortunately, since he was smashing her and still dealing with her, because he probably didn't smash, he probably was still smashing when Bruce was gone. He probably was still smashing when Bruce was gone. And since he was still smashing her and dealing with her and beating her orbit, he was a suspect in a murder investigation, which he had nothing. The only crime he did was smash the wife. Crazy. Well, that's allegedly. But the way she acted, I'm pretty sure she smashed the ex-boyfriend too.
he had a weak alibi and he failed a lie detector, so it is no wonder why police had their suspicions. As a result, he was interrogated before all of his guns were seized. But with no concrete evidence, he was eventually let go.
That's crazy.
And after that, the case went cold.
Damn. That's crazy.
Focus. Determination. Drive. Some say we're born with it.
So she was able to manipulate an ex-cop, a man who's depressed, a looking for love type dude. A simp. Bruce, he was a simp too. And I'm not trying to talk ill of the fallen, but first of all, he was married twice, divorced twice. He dealt with a single mother of 3 who was divorced twice. He even had the ex-boyfriend employed with the ex-wife. The wife was online talking with other dudes. A bunch of other men online. All the while she's going around traveling, meeting this guy, smashing him, lying to this guy, and getting him riled up. Crazy.
Even if Cherie's behavior following her husband's death was deemed as appropriate by officers, many eyebrows were raised when she was seen out partying shortly after his murder. With thanks to a life insurance payout, the quick sale of his business, and their joint bank accounts, Cherie had a substantial amount of money to burn, and apparently, it seemed like she was in a hurry to do so too. In between all of the dancing, drinking, and cash splashing, she also invited her new boyfriend to the home that she once shared with Bruce. But rather surprisingly, it wasn't Jerry. Jerry and Cherie's relationship suddenly froze after Bruce's murder, and that is when Jerry realized that she had fallen in love with yet another man.
Yeah! Yo! Oh, man. Jerry. My boy. Jerry. Bro. This dude is a simp of all simps. He took a dude out for her chick just so he could be played again. Man, yo, y'all, that's why y'all gotta focus on yourself, man. Now, this story isn't like in the 2000s. This story is in the 2000s. But man, dog, this dude took a whole man out for a chick that he was just smashing and got played. She moved on. She's like, all right, I'm done with you, bro. What? You committed a... Yo! This is crazy.
Jerry began to feel intense guilt after this, and reflected on the horrific crime he had committed with his ex-lover. With his background in law enforcement, he was well placed to review and realize the truth. Unfortunately, he was merely a pawn in her game, and his emotions were manipulated in order to kill her husband. And that is when he suddenly realized that Bruce was, in fact, an innocent man, not guilty of any of the accusations that Cherie had fabricated. There was no abuse, no mafia connections, no beatings, and no babies either. And it turns out that the scans Cherie had as so-called proof were dated back in 1994. 3 months later, on February the 11th, Jerry Cassidy made the decision to take his own life. He was found alone in the apartment he had rented from his cousin, next to his .22 caliber rifle. Amongst his possessions were letters to his family, including a note and a briefcase which were addressed to his attorney, John P. O'Connor. Upon opening the briefcase, his attorney found clear evidence of the crime, therefore sealing Cherie's own fate from beyond Jerry's grave. And alongside the myriad of evidence, one note from Jerry read, "I drove there and killed him. Cherie was involved and set it all up. I have all the proof and I'm sending it to the police. She will get what's coming. I have been so stupid, but now you know the real story of why I went into such a state of depression. Because I just couldn't tell anyone the truth. She wanted all the money and no more husband. Well, she got her wish, but she is soon to learn that she can't do that to people. Now I know it was all lies and games from Cherie. She didn't care what it took or who she hurt to get what she wanted." Following this shocking discovery,
that is so wild, man. Damn, bruh. That's sad for that's a sad fate for Jerry. He got manipulated. He really did get manipulated, but that's his own fault, man. Unfortunately, we didn't have this. Unfortunately, men didn't know. Men were still stuck on Disney back in those days. We were all still stuck on Disney back in those days. And unfortunately, there's some men that is a sucker for love. You know what I'm saying? And they will literally take another man's life just to be with a woman. You know what I'm saying? Just to sleep with a woman. It's a sad situation, and unfortunately, he was dealing with all these problems. His life was pretty bad, man. Like, he was going through a lot of stuff. He lost his job for being a good cop. He was dealing with a married woman who manipulated him. He took another man's life, an innocent man's life, and then he took his own life away. So that's a very sad fate for him. And unfortunately, he was being manipulated by a 304. And it's unfortunate what happens to a man who is looking for love and he wants somebody to be with him and all that stuff. And these modern women, again, they are in business. They're looking for the money. They're always monkey branching to the better man. They don't care. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care who they destroy.
Cherie was quickly arrested and charged with second-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. Her trial began 10 months later on December the 12th. And with the strange internet-based nature of her crime, public interest was abnormally high. She proclaimed her innocence throughout her trial, with her defense team suggesting that Jerry had fabricated his evidence against her because he couldn't handle his own guilt. They also tried to pin the blame on John again. Poor guy. During her trial, two officers role-played the chat logs of Jerry and Cherie. The chat logs, which were recorded on the day of the murder, said, "Jerry, I'm scared. If this don't work, he will hurt me bad. It will work. What is the fastest way into the yard from 75? 75 to Mount Morris Road exit. Listen to me. I'll call Bruce at 5 p.m. Okay, is the gun loud? Somewhat. Just do it and get the hell out of there. I want him to know who I am. Jerry, please. He will know, but not for long. Are you going to be able to live with this for the rest of your life? Because I can. I love you. Yes, I can." It was
wow. Really manipulated this man. She really manipulated this man, and that is very sad, bro. That is very sad that two men's lives were destroyed over a 304. This woman was a 304. Red flags everywhere. Red flags everywhere. And she manipulated two men to get what she wanted. She got the money she wanted. She was dealing with other men online. And then she took her husband out. This is crazy, man. And you wonder why this red pill MGTOW stuff is going on right now. You wonder why this is happening right now. You wonder why I tell y'all men to purge women out your life. Because you're going to get chaos like this. All because she wanted to be a 304. This man wasn't even a bad husband. Bruce wasn't even a bad man. He was going to adopt her 3 kids. He took her after all those red flags, paying for her lifestyle. She doing whatever she want. But she was not satisfied. This is crazy, man.
It was noted that, just one day after murdering her husband, Cherie called America Online to change her first name, last name, and street address. And after she learned that Jerry had taken his own life, she did the exact same thing again.
Damn.
To no one's surprise, this case was a slam dunk in court. And after just 2 days of deliberation, the jury came back with their verdict. Cherie Miller was found guilty of the second-degree murder of her husband. And on January the 9th, 2001, she was sentenced to life in prison. Cherie's defense had several complaints about the trial, one of them being well-founded. It was argued whether Jerry's letter could be used as admissible evidence by the prosecution. And surprisingly, this concern held so much weight that 7 years later, in 2008, the judge ordered a retrial. As a result, a federal court judge ordered that Cherie was released from prison in July 2009 until her retrial.
Bro, that's so crazy. And look how they treat these modern women in society. They have clear-cut evidence. Jerry should have watched. Jerry should have turned himself in instead of taking himself out, or at least should have waited. Damn, Jerry. Anyway, even though they had clear-cut evidence, they still let her walk the streets. Man, look how they treat these modern women with no consequence. She took somebody's life. She's still able to walk the streets.
For more than 3 years, she walked the streets without any restrictions whatsoever, and was even allowed to use the internet and dating websites.
That's crazy.
Understandably, many people were furious, especially the families of Bruce and Jerry. They all felt that she'd been let off the hook due to some ridiculous technicality. But thankfully, in August of 2012, the district court reversed that decision,
2012.
and as a result, Cherie was sent back to prison and has been there ever since. During her freedom, Cherie had the time to reconnect with her then teenaged children. It does seem that some positivity came out of her freedom here, because through their special time, she realized that her actions had robbed other families of this feeling of reconnection. In April of 2016, Cherie made a 4-page letter confessing that she was, in fact, guilty of orchestrating the murder, which was something that, to this point in time, she had absolutely denied. She claimed that the reason it took so long for her to admit guilt, which essentially waived her right to ever appeal again, was that at the time of her initial trial, she was being advised not to admit it. Her attorneys have unequivocally denied this. Had they known that she was actually guilty, they would have advised her to accept the 15-year plea bargain that she was offered. And just for reference, she has now been behind bars for more than
years?
20. Despite remaining in prison, Cherie has still managed to get married for a 4th time. This was to a man named Michael Denoyer, who's
Oh my God, another simp, bro. Man, oh man, man, yo, yo, bro, bro, come on, man, come on, bro. You gotta be kidding me. This dude, this woman killed her husband, and you still marry her? What an idiot. Oh man, I swear we can't be saved, bro. We can't be saved.
who saw her story on the news and became obsessed with her. He even proposed to her the very first time they met. Now, theoretically, this case could be known as the first online murder, or at least the first murder to occur through instant messaging like AOL. Arguably, this is the first time that chat rooms and the internet became the focal point of a murder case, which is quite interesting when you think about it, because nowadays it happens much more often. In the early days of the internet, most people didn't realize how permanent their messages were. For example, with Cherie, she had no idea they were recoverable. It also showed the true danger of chatting to strangers online, and how much it could affect your life, or even your death.
Is it too much? Trippy. I know, I am sorry if it is weird.
Bruce Miller was the victim of these realizations, a man who lost his life through no fault of his own. He found love with Cherie only after employing her, and to begin with, he was merely helping a single mother of 3 children. When they fell for each other nearly 2 years.
Damn, that's why you don't help these single mothers, man. This is why you don't help these single mothers. Look at that, bro. He was trying to help a single mother. He married her, fell in love with her, trying looking for love. He's a sucker for love. And it ended up. I don't want to laugh at this dude, but man, this guy sucks, bro. This dude lost his life looking for love.
2 years later, he was absolutely smitten. He agreed to legally adopt all 3 children and give them a home. All in the meanwhile, Cherie was sleeping with other men behind his back. Although Cherie's computer would be considered prehistoric in today's world, it would have been extraordinarily expensive at the time. Despite the heavy price tag, Bruce bought this for his wife, under the impression that she would use it to better her business and keep her happy. At best, it was a boutique business.
And you see what happens when you try to make a woman happy instead of trying to not say put her in her place, but put her in her role as a wife. Focus on making her happy. She got happy, all right, dealing with other men. And unfortunately, one of those other men took his life away. This is a very crazy story. Damn, bro. I really don't like this chick. I really don't like this chick, bro. Like, I'm really have genuinely, malice for this chick right here. Damn.
But in reality, it was probably a money-losing operation or a pyramid-type scheme. Yet, despite this, Bruce paid out to make it easier for his wife to sell her products. But instead, she was using it to plan his death. She had already realized that divorce would not provide her with enough money, so she played with the feelings and emotions of a gullible man to do her.
And what does that say that Coach Greg Adams says? We'll play that back too. Divorce is already started when they get married. She was already thinking about a divorce. She was already using this man when she first got together. Talking about falling in love, she was using this man. She knew what she was doing when she first got the job. She wanted to get with this man, marry this man, because when she first got with him, she was maxing out his cards. And then she wanted to divorce this man. But she realized divorce was not going to be enough. So she decided to use a simp and have this man's life taken away. And she got a huge payout because of that. Crazy.
It was a boutique business. But in reality, it was probably a money-losing operation or a pyramid-type scheme. Yet, despite this, Bruce paid out to make it easier for his wife to sell her products. But instead, she was using it to plan his death. She had already realized that divorce would not provide her with enough money, so she played with the feelings and emotions of a gullible man to do her bidding. And although Jerry is not innocent himself, he too got burned. Bruce was a good man who worked hard at his job and did everything in his power to make his new wife happy. He provided stability, financial security, and unconditional love. But sadly, his reward to all of this was murder in cold blood.
It's never enough, guys.
And so,
it's never enough. All right. Shout out to Coffee House Crime for the video. But it's never enough, fellas. Any woman you deal with that's a 304, she will never be satisfied. Take that as a lesson to y'all, fellas. If she is not a wholesome woman, if she has a promiscuous past, any red flags, single mothers, been in a marriage, divorced, run away. Purge those women out your life. If she is not a wholesome, that's WHOLE, wholesome woman, you better run away, because that might be your life. You will not have peace. There will never be peace when you deal with a woman like that. So be careful. R.I.P. to Bruce. And even though Jerry's not that innocent himself, R.I.P. to him as well. He had a sad life, man. He had a sad life. His career went down the ruins. The woman that he quote unquote loved, he lost his wife, and the woman that he quote unquote loved manipulated him to commit cold blood, and then he committed seppuku, even though he wasn't trying to bring honor. Man, that was a crazy story. All right, guys. We're going to end the stream here. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you know next time I drop. As well as, if you want to help grow this page monetarily, you can donate to the Cash App and PayPal. Or you go into the Cash App. I mean, you'll see the PayPal during the when I do the cuts, when I do the drops. You'll see that, but go ahead and donate to the Cash App. Also, if you want to check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/XSUndergroundZ. I appreciate that. All right, guys. You guys be safe. Definitely you guys be safe right here. Vet the women y'all be talking to, man. Y'all don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how they're going to treat you. All right, guys. I will talk with y'all soon. You guys be safe. Peace.
que mi vida tenga más sentido. Hace siempre yo quiero estar contigo. Tú eres como el agua clara que llueve del cielo.
Cabrón.
Te quiero porque quiero que me quieras, porque como tú no hay nadie más que me pueda enseñar.
Chinga, qué pedo. Tranquilo, güey. Tranquilo, güey, tranquilo.
Con mis deseos en cuestión de piel.
Tranquilo, güey, tranquilo ya. No te merecía, la neta.
Es mucho.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Woman don't owe you shit with your dusty Tims. Can't pull up to a crib cause you bought a din. Hold outside with your dick like let me come in. Not even by the hairs on your chinny chin. Yeah. Woman don't owe you. Yeah. Woman don't owe you shit. Boy, woman don't owe you.
Hey guys, you hear that? Women don't owe men anything. No matter what you do, they don't owe you anything. So guys, don't take them out on dinner dates. Don't pay their bills. Don't buy them gifts. They don't need us anymore, guys. This song, did you hear the song? They don't need us for nothing. They're free. They can do whatever they want. Bros, just focus on yourself.
Can we ask the zodiac signs real quick?
Oh my God, no, bro.
Please.
No, bro. That shit does not matter. It is not true,
guess.
bro.
I like when people guess.
Yes. Okay.
How do y'all feel when girls be saying that though?
I feel like a lot of the shit that you say is gonna be in fucking valid. That's exactly what because it's like this. If you wanted to guess my sign and I told you, you say, "Oh, I think you're a Cancer," and I'd be like, "No, I'm a Taurus."
Are you?
Yes, I'm a Taurus. Do I act like a Taurus?
You do.
I do?
Yeah.
I'm not a fucking Taurus.
You should saw that one coming.
Yeah, baby, that's crazy.
Talk about this because you really can't be a man. Talk about this because you really can't be a man of value or consequence if you out here moving sexually irresponsible. We're going to get into it. Jumping in all kind of freaky situations, not understanding the long-term possible ramifications to your brand, dropping babies all over the place, mishandling situations with people you're having consensual sex with, ghosting women after you hook up. Hello?